Don't tell Lydia. I'll fix it later.
What do you think? And I like you working with me. Are you actually helping? Are you being helpful?
Now that I've made some mistakes, we get to watch everything over from the beginning.
I need to listen to camera running. Ugh. I can't pet you. I have to work. Mom's gonna be mad if I don't get any work done today.
Today, we are doing flooring. I did go ahead and get started yesterday just to kind of get an idea of how it's going to be going, kind of get a game plan, get in the flow of things. We'll kind of go over what I got started yesterday, but today we're going to be transitioning from the living room into the mud room. We're going to try to continue our planks all the way through. That way it's just one seamless flow of boards. So let's go ahead and get after it. So these are the first 6 rows I got put down yesterday. That gets us where we are ready to transition into the mudroom. We're just gonna take those rows and just keep on going. After I got everything laid out and put this plastic film down, what I did is I came and I ripped off this tongue or edge of the plank, and then I ripped off this back edge. What that did, it was allowed me to butt this stuff up to the wall with these 3/8" spacers all the way down. That way it keeps, because this floor is a floating floor, so it allows it to move and shrink and contract and grow as the temperature changes in the house. Hopefully it won't change much, but if everybody remembers back in physics class, there's thermal expansion and contraction. So I went to go get my measurements. I was standing at the door and looked back across the floor. I was like, something doesn't look right. When I put the floor down, I did make sure my gaps or joints would not fall within 12 inches of the joint from the next or from the previous board. But the problem is when you're using 4-foot board, you take off a foot, full piece. By the time you put those back down, they're essentially stair-stepped, which is not the way they're supposed to be. But I'll show you what I did here now. I had to go back and pop all the boards up. Wasn't very hard, but I had to do a little mental gymnastics, get everything lined back up, and I'll show you show you the new plan of what we have now. So this is what we have. That was our previous joint. I just basically kind of rearranged, trimmed, 4 or 5 inches, 3 inches off some, and we got our boards staggered up. So as we come back, Grace, can you move out? Our boards are going to look more like this is our pattern, and then we'll just go from there, and then we'll just keep, that's a better picture, we'll just keep everything random. These are the blocks I've made. It's a 3/8" gap this direction. What it's gonna do, this lip right here will keep the block from tipping over. Got these little thin plastic shims, but they have that board, the floorboards, have a tendency to kick it this way up under the drywall, and it eliminates that 3/8 inch. So I just made these, that way they won't roll and tilt. Still keeps it 3/8, but it's gonna be a lot more durable than these little thin, flimsy plastic ones. So the way these boards work, it's called tongue and groove. And what it is, you just slide this end into the other plank, lay it down, and then knock it back. This little block has some grooves on it, so that way when you put the block on the board to hammer it in, you're not tearing up this lip. That way everything snaps together. But it's pretty simple. Snap it in, pop it into place on the long end, and then beat it back into the other board and just keep rolling. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing our first row, got it fully laid out. Second row, I'm kind of getting popped in. Now I'm gonna slide back down here and pop in a couple more and just kind of do 2 boards on one row, 2 boards on one row. And I have my extra pieces already laid out in boxes. So as I'm coming along, it's literally arm's length away. And I have it running the whole width of the living room. So I'm never more than a step away from my boards. That way I'm not running back and forth trying to grab stuff all the time. Can you go get me a burger from town? You can take the truck. Get you one too, okay? Go get 2, well, we gotta get Grace. Get 3 burgers, a drink, and then we'll just split a fry. That work? I'll give you the money. So this is the flat bar I mentioned a few minutes ago. What it is when you put your last piece in at the wall and you need to pop it into place, this bar just hooks on the end of it and you beat on this end here, snap it right in. That way it allows you to reach up behind it and pull it. Pretty simple. Yesterday, when I was putting the flooring in, I started with this hammer. It's just one I had laying around. Figured, great, go ahead and use it. This one came in the flooring kit that had the block and the little bar and the little plastic shims to go against the wall. Black is not recommended when you have light colored walls, because if you're like me, you kind of get after it sometimes. So I left a few little rubber marks on the wall that had to be painted up. That's why I switched to this. Yeah, if I damage it too much, I'll have to fix it, but at least, you know, a tiny little backswing with this is not gonna leave a black rubber stain on the wall like is over here. Okay, now we're back to where I started 3 hours ago, but it's better than looking at the floor for the next 20 years regretting not fixing it. So what we have to do is I'm gonna take this little short chunk, just a little piece of scrap here. I'm gonna butt it up to this door jamb. I'm gonna use the oscillating saw to trim this up. That way this flooring can slide under and be a little more hidden. This molding is going to get replaced, and I don't want to worry about trying to cut this around the door jamb. So I'm just going to trim everything up. That way this can still expand and contract slightly under here. This is what we're going for. If this were our flooring that we're going to install here in a few minutes, it's just going to be able to slide right under here. And you can see, so this is where it stops. Like
we've got a solid inch and a quarter worth of room to work under here. So that way we'll hide any gaps or imperfections we'll have and not have to worry about being super accurate on the cuts. So this is the first piece that runs out from the floor in the living room. It kind of butts up and, well, excuse me, it ends just a few inches inside the threshold here. I went ahead and trimmed this piece because we've got kind of a long skinny piece, then it goes into this little pantry closet. And then this piece will go right here. I was gonna try to keep the pattern the same, but I got to thinking the only two boards that need to stay the same are these two boards, just because they'll continue. They'll have another thin strip along this wall here, and then it'll open back up into the mudroom. So these are the only two I'm going to worry about as far as keeping the same. Just gonna have to, because they're have tongue and groove on each end. I'm just going to start in the back corner of this closet, work my way out, and then we'll see where it falls. I'll just make sure my joints aren't 12 inches within the end of another joint. Didn't have enough room for the camera to be in here while I was working, but we got this done. Yes, it is slightly stair-stepped, but a few boards is not going to matter. And it saves a lot of headache of having to measure and match everything up.
You have longer arms. Next goal.
This is my two favorite puppies. Huh?
Lydia came out earlier and painted the kitchen countertop. So while she was here, I had her help me for 30 minutes and then 30 minutes and then 30 minutes. I didn't tell her how many 30-minute sessions we were gonna do, but we were able to make some pretty good progress. We transitioned into the back hallway and into the master bedroom. So I'll take you on a tour and let you see what it looks like. This is the back hallway we started on. We started flush off this wall earlier. I was able to get 5 rows down, which got me the width of the hallway, which is actually a little bit wider than I realized. I didn't realize it'd take 5 rows, but I was able to start it into the back corner of this closet. So this way everything just flows all the way down. So going back this direction, I was able to get everything butted up to the wall between the kitchen and the living room here. I did have to rip a tiny little piece off all the way down this wall. I'll finish putting this board in later because I still have to scrape some of the old linoleum off that went up under the carpet, get all that cleaned. I was able to get into the bedroom. I'm still gonna have to come back and rip a strip all the way down this wall here and transition into this closet. But I was able to wrap around this wall to the closet here. I'm gonna have to cut this a little bit just because I believe it's wide enough it'll actually go back into the closet there. But I was able to get pretty much all of my full rows done, and we made it all the way through. We're probably 2/3 of the way across the master bedroom. So tomorrow we will probably pick back up in here and or start into the kitchen.
Perfect. I'll get it. Well, yeah, you just kind of hold it right here. Just put pressure right here. Fully locked in, yeah. Of these
And
things.
then they won't go in place.
Yep, then it won't go in place.
And then we'll be one board short.
Yep, and then we'll have to run to town all the way for one board. Push down right here. It's like the coolest thing ever.
No, I never knew they could make thing ever is you.
Oh, I'm the coolest thing ever?
Yeah.
Cool.
And you work hard.
I do. Some days it's not by choice.
How'd that wood get there?
Huh?
How'd that wood get there?
What wood?
Under this bag.
It just, because not all of it, see, there's a hole right here. Most of it goes up in, but not all of it. Because see, especially if the wind's blowing or something, not all of it goes in there. There's some all over the front. We'll probably have to take the broom and sweep it off at some point.
Which board we cut it?
Oscar, grab you a
How
chair.
does it go up in there?
Grab you one of these chairs.
How does it go up in there?
It just does. Because when it kicks off of here, it goes up in this hole right here.
So what do we do for?
You're gonna hop in the chair. That's what you're gonna do. Good job. Ivy, you can do the next one.
Okay. Can I do the next one after Ivy?
Sure.
Yay. Hop in the chair.
Can you hold that down right there?
I found this is like the third board I found, but you can see there's a tiny little chunk of glue right here. It doesn't hurt to go ahead and give it a quick once over because this glue actually sticks out, kind of rounds off to the lip right here, and it's going to get in the way. Maybe you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see how that would booger up the end and keep your boards from butting flat up against each other. It's pretty easy to get out. I just take my scraper and run it down the edge. Clean that glue out and it'll pop together. The first time I found it, it's like I couldn't figure out why this board wasn't buttoned up properly. That was it. So just give them a once over when you're putting them in.
What are you giggling about? Mr. McGiggleson?
Since I got the master bedroom done, that's gonna be it for today. Everything else that needs to be done still gotta have vapor barrier put down, but since the sun's already set, it's getting dark in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it quits and we'll pick back up tomorrow. Got the front hallway done. Now it's off to the kitchen. So I made a quick detour from the kitchen before I started on that. I finished ripping this little board that goes right here in the mudroom. And if you're thinking, oh, that's thin. That's right, it's 1 5/8. But don't worry, it gets worse. All the way down here, we go down to 5/8 of an inch. And then a full board stops about right there. So I had a 5/8 inch wide by 2 1/4 inch piece. There's that tiny thin little piece right here. I did go ahead and glue it to this longer piece here just to keep it sturdy. And while this glue dries, I'm gonna go move the boxes in the kitchen and go ahead and start cleaning everything up. And might be later when I put this in, might be tomorrow, but it'll be a quick little piece to pop in. We're back for another day of flooring. Yesterday I showed up, completely forgot the camera, but I went ahead and knocked out the kitchen because I didn't feel like driving all the way back, coming all the way back into town, getting everything set up, and spending over an hour just to go grab a camera. So I went ahead and knocked that out. Today we're gonna be working on one of the back bedrooms. I'll at least show you what I got done in the kitchen from the other day. You saw the kitchen, it was literally halfway across. I went ahead and finished it up. Just had a few simple little cuts, got the dishwasher pulled out, got all that flooring done in there, and now we're done with all the major flooring in here. We'll move to the back bedroom. Ladies and gentlemen, the laminate flooring is done. The camera died before I got these last few little pieces installed. All I had to do is just rip it down and put it up against the wall. I'm not sure what the next adventure is going to be. We have to paint molding. We still have to put down a little bit of tile where the water heater is going to go. And I have to wire up an electrical outlet for the range. Several different little small projects going on, but we've kind of got to juggle around the rain, especially since we're using the spray gun outside of the molding. So it kind of depends on what the weather does next few days. It'll depend on what project we're on to next. Go ahead and look at our past videos and you'll have to wait and see what the next one's going to be. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, and thank you for watching.